Welcome back to Time Lens. I am Akul, and we are going somewhere we have been before. Brahmagiri, Episode 1, Where It All Began.
Full circle, Akul, 7 episodes later, and we are back at the beginning. But with everything we have learned, the edicts, the marketplace, the gem trade, Jatayu's hill, Brahmagiri looks completely different now.
In Episode 6, we understood it was a marketplace, a busy trading hub, not remote at all. But you said in Episode 5 that the next episode would go further back than anything in this series.
Further back than Ashoka, further back than the marketplace, further back than the Neolithic settlements.
Wait, further back than even 2000 BC?
We are talking about a layer of this hill that predates written history as we know it.
The name, Brahmagiri, you have never answered why it is called that.
Today we try to answer that with everything I know, and I will be honest about what I do not know.
So, why is it called Brahmagiri? What does Brahma have to do with this hill?
The name means Brahma's hill or the hill sacred to Brahma. Now, Brahma is the creator in the Hindu trinity Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. And Brahma is directly associated with the Saptarishis, the 7 great sages.
The seven sages, tell me about them.
The Saptarishis are considered the 7 mind born sons of Brahma himself. Brahma created them through the power of his mind, not through conventional birth. One of these 7 great sages is Gautama Maharishi,
Gautama, the same Gautama connected to Brahmagiri.
the very same. The tradition at Brahmagiri says Gautama Maharishi meditated in the caves here. Along with his wife Ahalya, he made this hill his place of tapas, deep spiritual practice.
So the hill is called Brahmagiri because one of Brahma's own sages, his mind-born son, chose this hill.
That is the tradition. Whether Brahmagiri is named for Brahma directly or for Brahma's sage Gautama, I genuinely do not know with certainty. That is an open question I am still investigating.
Honest answer, the connection to Brahma is there, just the exact path of the name is uncertain.
Exactly. What is not uncertain is the tradition of Gautama and Ahalya meditating here. That tradition is strong, and Ahalya's story is one of the most famous in all of Indian mythology.
Tell our listeners about Ahalya, not everyone will know the story.
Ahalya is the wife of Gautama Maharishi. She is considered one of the Panchakanya, 5 sacred women of Indian tradition. Her story is deeply connected to the Ramayana, Akul.
Connected to the Ramayana, again, on the same hill.
Ahalya was cursed by Gautama and turned to stone. The curse could only be broken when Rama himself set foot on this earth and his touch released her.
Rama releases Ahalya from the curse, that is in the Ramayana.
It is one of the most moving stories in the entire Ramayana, the liberation of Ahalya. Some traditions say this liberation happened right here, on this hill, in the caves where Gautama meditated.
On Brahmagiri, the same hill with the Ashokan edict, the same hill with the marketplace.
Layer upon layer, Akul, every layer pointing to the same conclusion. Brahmagiri was not chosen randomly by anyone, not by Ashoka, not by the gem traders. This hill mattered long before any of them arrived.
You mentioned something in passing way back in episode 1, 108, Swayambhu Shivlings. Hidden in caves, we never came back to that.
The tradition says there are 108 Swayambhu Shivlings in the hidden caves near Gorakhnath Gufa on this hill.
Swayambhu, self-formed, not carved by human hands.
Not carved, not placed. The tradition says they formed on their own, naturally, inside the caves. 108 is a deeply sacred number in Indian tradition.
Why 108 specifically?
108 appears across Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain traditions. 108 beads on a mala, 108 Upanishads, 108 sacred sites. The number connects to cosmic cycles, to the relationship between the sun and the earth.
So the caves on this hill hold 108 self-formed Shivlings.
That is the tradition. I have not entered those caves myself. They are described as hidden. But the very existence of this tradition tells you how sacred this hill is considered.
Gautama meditated here, Ahalya was here, 108 Swayambhu Shivlings are here.
And Neolithic people lived here from at least 2000 BC, 4000 years of human presence. Before Ashoka arrived with his scribe Kapada to carve that message, this hill was already ancient.
And it did not stop after Ashoka either.
Not at all. We know from the inscriptions at Jatinga Rameshwara that this region was significant during the Vijayanagara period too. The Vijayanagara Empire, one of the greatest empires in Indian history, flourished in the 1300s to 1500s.
Hampi was their capital, and we know precious stones were traded through this region.
The same precious stones the ASI guide told us about Muttu, Ratna, Vajragalu. Pearls, gems, and diamonds being traded at these hilltop sites. The same trade that was happening here in Ashokan times, continuing through Vijayanagara times 1,000 years later.
The same hilltop, the same trade, 1600 years apart.
That is the continuity that this site represents, Akul. Not one civilization, not one era. A continuous thread from Neolithic times through Saptarishi traditions, through Ashoka, through Vijayanagara.
All the way to today, where the cooks still climb with their pots and the Archaka still does puja.
The devotion never stopped, even when the trade stopped, even when the town emptied. The ill itself kept calling people back.
Now, you mentioned something that genuinely surprised me when you first brought it up. There are two Brahmagiris, one here in Karnataka, one in Maharashtra near Nashik.
This is one of the most fascinating threads in this entire investigation. Akul. The Brahmagiri near Nashik in Maharashtra and our Brahmagiri near Chitradurga in Karnataka. Both hills share the exact same tradition of Saptarishi Gautama meditating there. Both share the connection to Ahalya. Both have the tradition of 108 Swayambhu Shivlings in hidden caves.
The exact same traditions, two different hills, hundreds of kilometers apart.
That cannot be coincidence, Akul.
What does it mean?
It could mean the same sage, Gautama, meditated at multiple locations across India. It could mean the tradition spread from one Brahmagiri to another as people traveled and settled. It could mean something even more significant, that the Saptarishi traditions were deliberately preserved at multiple hills across the subcontinent.
Sacred hills as a network, not just one place, but a whole geography of sacred sites.
That is the theory I am working with, a network of sacred sites, each preserving the same memory. Just like the Ranganatha temples on the Kaveri, the same deity, the same tradition deliberately placed.
The same pattern again, deliberate, not accidental.
Whether it is two Brahmagiris or three Ranganatha temples on the Kaveri, something very intentional was being preserved. The question is, preserved by whom? For what purpose? Those are the next investigations.
Nagendra, let us stand back and look at everything we have built across these 7 episodes.
7 episodes, one series, one region of Karnataka that most people drive through without stopping.
We started with an Ashokan edict in the middle of what looks like farmland.
We found 3 edicts, not one. We found the town names Isila, Isilapatna. We found Jatayu's hill. We found the geometry connecting Rishimukha to Rameswaram.
We followed Rama's footsteps down the Kaveri River. We found the Aji story at Shiva Samudra.
We found the marketplace, the Bauddha stupa, the gem trade, the Vijayanagara connection, the river that dried up and took the towns with it.
The rock remembers, the people forgot.
The rock remembers, the people forgot. That sentence has been true at every single site in this series. But we also found the opposite. At Shiva Samudra, the people remembered even when there was no rock. The Ajji story surviving without any inscription, just voices passing down the memory.
Lippi and Nambike both needed, neither sufficient alone.
That is the lesson of this entire series. The written evidence and the living tradition, together, they tell the full story. Neither one alone is enough.
Series 3 comes to a close here. What is next for Time Lens?
There are threads I have not pulled yet, Akul. The gem trade route connecting these hilltop sites to Hampi, I have more evidence of that than I have shared. The tunnel story at Maski, that is a dedicated investigation.
Maski has its own Ashokan edict, one of the most significant ones in India.
The first edict where Ashoka named himself, where we discovered his personal name. Maski connects to Hampi, to the gem trade, to the Vijayanagara Empire, to everything.
That is a series on its own.
That is the next series, the gem trade route, the tunnel, the Vijayanagara connection. And I still need to visit Jatayu Mangalam in Kerala, the Andhra Jatayu site, the Archaka at Shiva Samudra.
The list never gets shorter.
The list never gets shorter. Every answer opens 3 new questions. That is how I know this investigation is real.
Nagendra, 7 episodes. What has this series meant to you personally?
It has changed how I see the land I grew up in, Akul. I have driven past Brahmagiri. I have stopped at Tumkur for breakfast. I farm at Shivasamudra. These are places I thought I knew. They turned out to be layers deep with history I had never looked for.
History hiding in plain sight.
History hiding in plain sight, on hilltops, under temples, in Anaji stories, on stones under the earth. All you have to do is stop, look, ask.
The rock remembers. All we have to do is listen.
The rock remembers. All we have to do is listen. Thank you, Akul.
Thank you, Nagendra, for all 7 of these. Truly. That is Timelines of Series 3. If this series has changed how you see ancient India, please share it. Every listener who discovers these sites helps keep the memory alive. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Find us on Instagram. The visual reels that go with each episode tell the story in a different way. Links in the show notes. Series 4 is coming. The investigation continues.